Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle and I'm a tax manager at one of the big four accounting firms. And today I'll be talking about a topic that a lot of you guys seem really interested in, and that is what are the big four exit opportunities for tax? If you find these sort of videos interesting, make sure to hit that like button down below so that really lets me know that you enjoy these sort of videos. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you could be notified for future videos. Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 critical points in your career that could really impact your opportunities in the job market. The first critical milestone in your career is the 3-year mark when you become a senior associate. So the first 2 years are spent as a new associate, and during this time, you're just studying and getting as much work experience as possible. And into your 3rd year, you've written the CV, which is a common final exam, and you've also been promoted to a senior associate, and you're well on your way to getting enough work experience to be designated as a CPA. Based on my experience for the past couple of years, I feel that the most amount of people leave during this milestone, and that is because there are so many more opportunities out there, and at the same time there is a lot of flexibility in terms of what sort of roles you might want to pursue. The most typical jobs that you might pursue from making that transition from public practice Big Four to industry is usually a financial analyst position in an accounting or finance related department within a company. The biggest incentive, I would say, from making that transition, aside from the type of work you might want to pursue, is definitely the pay. At this point, you can expect to get 10 to 25% bigger pay than what you're currently getting at the Big Four. But keep in mind that as you move up at a Big Four, your pay range increases might actually be greater than if you're in industry. And in industry, you might have started with a bigger pay, but it might be stagnant for a couple of years. I would also say that this milestone is the best time for you to leave if you find that tax, audit, or accounting is just not for you. And that is because at this point, you have just become an accounting generalist. You know a bit of tax, you know a bit of audit from studying towards your CPA, and those skills are not that greatly differentiated at this point. It is also the best time because you're malleable to whatever role that you might want to pursue, whether that is strategy, consulting, financial planning, and even IT. Whatever path you decide to go into, remember that a CPA designation is very valuable because it provides you with the core skills such as business acumen and problem solving that is highly recognized wherever you go and that is well respected. The second key milestone is after the 5-year mark when you become manager. As a manager, you have more specialized skills in tax, which makes you highly sought after in the tax world. And at this point, you will have a lot of recruiters headhunting you on LinkedIn, asking you to move to other public practice firms for either higher pay or early promotion. There are also jobs available in industry such as tax analysts or even tax managers, which are comparable to controllers. You may even go for the odd tax planning specialist position at banks and even for treasury positions. These industries will tend to be much larger companies because small companies obviously won't be able to afford an in-house tax expert. And I would say that pay ranges from around $100,000 to $150,000, really depends on where you live and what sort of market you're in. But I would say in the market that I'm more familiar with, which is the west coast of Canada, that's usually the range of salary. While there are enough demand for tax experts out there, at this point in your career, I would say it's a little bit more difficult to venture out of tax. But that being said, it is not impossible, and you could always venture out into different fields, like I mentioned, such as strategy or consulting or even financial planning. But at this point, because you're so deeply entrenched in becoming a tax specialist, that in order to pursue those other roles, you might have to level down a little bit just so you could pick up pace and or even get a decrease in salary. And if you have more of an entrepreneur spirit within you, another exit plan is to start your own firm that, prepares tax returns or even does tax planning for small to medium-sized companies or even for individuals. This is also a plus given that, if you're pursuing an audit path, it might be a little bit more difficult to set up your own firm just because of more regulations and restrictions. The third milestone in your career is 8 years or more as a senior manager. I'm sure that you picked up on this already, but as you become more and more senior in the tax practice, it becomes increasingly more difficult to venture outside of tax and do something else. As a senior manager, you could look towards roles such as director of tax at a big company, but at this point, to be honest, you probably stuck around so that you could look towards the partner route at a big four. As a senior manager or even a director of tax, you could expect salary to range from around $120,000 to $200,000. And at this point, there isn't much incentive to look for jobs elsewhere, just because salary could be pretty similar across the job market. For a senior manager, the real incentive lies in becoming a partner, whether that is at a big four firm or even transferring to a smaller firm for higher chances of becoming a partner, because the pay could jump dramatically, ranging from $250,000 and then working your way up all the way to even $1 million. I'm just going to add one more bit here, and that is for those who are interested in becoming a VP of Finance or CFO one day in the future. And as a CPA, this could be totally within your realm of expertise. But I would have to say that it doesn't matter whether you specialize in audit or if you specialize in tax. What really matters is your experience and the broad financial knowledge that you have, as well as the business itself and the operations. So this probably would entail for you to start at a company relatively early and to make your way up, just so you have that experience working in the company and really knowing the details of how the company operates. Also, adding an MBA on top of your CPA will also make you invaluable and really boost your skill sets to becoming a C-suite member. Clearly, I'm not an expert when it comes to VP of Finance or a CFO, but it's just based on what I've heard and based on what I've researched. And if you want to know more, I will link a blog post below, and it's written by Robert Half, which is the biggest recruiter when it comes to accounting and finance. So take a read if you're interested. That's a wrap for my video on Big Four exit opportunities for tax. If you guys found it useful, it would mean a lot to me if you guys could hit that like button down below, as well as hit the subscribe button so you can be informed of future videos. Let me know if there are any other exit opportunities that you could come up with, or even post whatever job that you would like to pursue after public practice. I really appreciate you sticking around this long, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!